Hello, leaders, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. One of my favorite baseball players is now on his way to Cooperstown and Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. Derek Jeter was voted into the Hall of Fame on his first year of eligibility, and he was on all but one sports writer's ballot. Now, as great of a feat as that is, there is a lot of talk about who wouldn't put Jeter on the ballot. But I love Jeter's response. He said something like, "Hey, I'm just happy for all the votes that I did get, because in today's world, it's very difficult to get that many people to agree on one thing." Isn't it funny, though? I mean, up until last year, there had never been a player voted into baseball's Hall of Fame unanimously, or being on every single sports writer's ballot. However, last year, Mariano Rivera became the first player to be elected by being on every single ballot. He received 100% of the votes. And yet now, people are complaining because Jeter wasn't on every ballot. Man, we certainly live in a crazy world when people will focus on one non-vote instead of the 396 ballots that did contain Jeter's name. I mean, think about that. He received 99.7% of the vote. And yet there's conflict now because of one person not voting for him. And you know, this just proves that you're going to find conflict everywhere you look. It doesn't matter what it is or where you look. And this especially applies when you're talking about leadership. You will find conflict in every area of leadership. Ironically, I've always been a fan of conflict. I mean, the name of this podcast is Run to Your Leadership Challenges, not away. And let's face it, conflict will just never go away on its own. It needs a leader to step in and lead the people through it. Or better yet, it needs a leader to be proactive in learning about the conflict that's inevitable in every phase of leadership. That's why I love dealing with and helping teams through conflict and teaching them to be proactive about minimizing the negative conflict. More specifically, I prepare teams and leaders to expect conflict in every area of leadership and guide them through the steps to minimize the negative, ugly side of conflict. Now, I'm telling you all this because I'll be switching gears a little bit on this show, and you'll begin to see more of a focus on what we call conflict leadership. Basically, it focuses on how to proactively handle conflict in every area of leadership. Chances are, you won't see much of a difference on the show. I will still have daily challenges and applications that you can put into action. But some of these challenges will be more on the proactive side in order to minimize your conflict. Additionally, my wife Jennifer and I will be releasing many training videos over the next several months, and we are working on a certified conflict leadership training course. This course will be available to a very select few people beginning as early as May, hopefully. So if that sounds like something that you may be interested in, keep us in mind. The course will include videos, live online training, and a live in-person retreat or two. We're still working out all the details, and we're hoping to have it all accredited by the time we begin. So, today's challenge, in lieu of the fact that Jeter was voted into the Hall of Fame, I want to challenge you to think about what kind of criteria would be included in a leadership Hall of Fame. What would those leaders have to be like? Do you think you have ever worked for a Hall of Fame leader? And if so, what would you say qualified them to be in the Hall of Fame? Finally, I want you to ask yourself if you would be eligible for the Leadership Hall of Fame. And if so, why? If not, why not? You know, it's never too late to be the best leader that you can be. And remember, mastering leadership is a continuous, lifelong journey, as we're always learning new things about leadership. Let's continue to learn and grow together. Hey, I hope you have a great rest of your day. As always, thanks for listening, and until tomorrow, run to your challenges.